it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to a fantastic and fabulous Friday. Really excited because I get the opportunity to speak with a phenomenal artist. BT is in the building, y'all. We're going to be talking all about their journey into their artistry and how they are continuing to stay engaged in their creative abilities up till today and beyond. Y'all, I always love when we can just focus on these amazing Fridays to share some inspiring stories. So, I'm excited to talk with them later on in the show. Of course, it's the top of the show right now. So it's a perfect time for you to tag and share this stream. And however you're watching this, just share it with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch our show, we still have you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network in the Day with Trae. You'll find us on whatever platform is your favorite. Well, before I get into it with BT a little bit later after the break, I just wanted to say thank you again for watching this week with us, and thanks to all the guests. Something kind of hit me, as I was going through the week, something hit me to say, it is always so dope to hear how people became them that you experience today. You never know what somebody's background story is, or what got them to do what they're doing, or what inspired them, until you start building relationship and asking questions. And when I think about all of the things that we get to explore when we're in community together, there's something so special about actually connecting with other people. Sometimes one-on-one is the best way, but others can do it in groups, small groups, large groups, or whatever. But what I get to experience here on the Day with Trae is this intimacy with one of my guests every time, one-on-one, in a way that allows me to really be inspired by what they're sharing. And I really, every time, every day, y'all hear me say it over and over again, be inspired, right? But there's something special about what inspiration does to our bodies on a biological and physical level. Inspiration actually is something that essentially makes your heart smile. It's an interesting thing because when you look up all of the positive benefits from smiling, you can find so many out there on the internet, right? Just search, where are the positive effects of smiling? And you will see that smiling is something that you get to choose every day, all the time. When you start to feel some type of way, just start smiling. Look at yourself in the mirror, laugh, smile. It works for me and so many other folks I know. And I guarantee you that that's what I'm encouraging you to feel, is that heart smiling when I ask you to be inspired by the stories of my guests. I wanted to dive into that word inspiration a bit today because I say it all the time. And some of you may be like, oh, geez, okay, Trae, I know you want us to be inspired. But the reason why is because I also see inspiration as the antithesis to apathy. There's something when you're detached and you're just apathetic. Man, who cares? I don't, whatever, right? But when you actually are inspired, you're engaged in a way that can oftentimes lead to you doing something different. So that's why I'm always encouraging you to be inspired. Well, up next after this short break, I'm excited because we get to talk to BT. And I'm telling y'all, I still want y'all to be inspired. That inspiration is going to continue right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Spring Awakening, live on stage this June at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Winner of 8 Tony Awards, Spring Awakening weaves youth, love, and the clash between generations all in one powerful rock musical. Buy tickets now at fifthavenue.org.
The importance to share the history of the Buffalo Soldiers of Seattle and Buffalo Soldiers of everywhere, including cowboys and cowgirls of color everywhere, is really important because most likely they're forgotten. It's important that they're acknowledged, especially for girls like me who look up to them.
At a rodeo, it's got an impact on people when they see somebody doing something like that, especially a person of color, you know what I mean? It's got a big impact on people, I think.
Representing the Evergreen State, I am your Miss Teen Rodeo Washington, Jessa Thomas. Welcome to the Windswept Farm.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client, discussing their fields, and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. See you guys in a few.
Welcome back to the Day with Trae, y'all. I'm Trae Holiday, your host here. Really excited to talk to BT. What's up, BT?
How's it going? How's it going? Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you here. Well, you have been so phenomenal in community as an artist, bringing your artistry out in so many different ways. Co-founder of Vivid Matter Collective. You know, you've been an artist for a really long time. When we first met, you were doing the dopest stuff. And then it was like, wow, this opportunity for Vivid Matter Collective and the BLM mural in Capitol Hill came up, and it was beautiful that you were able to really be a part of such a phenomenal effort. But I gotta ask the beginnings, you know, before we dive into all the things that I see you doing out here in community and so many others see you doing. Tell us about those beginnings.
The beginnings. I mean, I would say, like, you know, when we're talking about like inspiration, like some of the like immediate things that really captured my imagination when I was little were like those Goosebump books, like the covers of those, like the slime, the creatures coming up out, and like that just for me, I was always just like really engaging. I mean, as like a young reader, you know, it's like as far as like judging a book by its cover, I think they're like pretty phenomenal covers that get you wanting to kind of pick it up, you know. But like beyond just like reading the stories, I think just I love to like draw those covers. I love the illustrations. I love just the way that they were able to, you know, these relatively like 2D images like still seem like they're coming up off the page. And so, yeah, I love to just like kind of redraw those. And I think that like a lot of that informed my style really early on. And I mean, I think as, you know, when I was like young, I mean, even younger than like the Goosebumps years, it was pretty clear that like, yeah, that this kid's got something here. Like, you know, this picking up any like crayon or anything, I'm just like, making something happen. And it's like, okay. And so I think there was just a lot of immediate, like really like just positive feedback, you know? And so I think with that, not only is this thing that I'm enjoying, but I'm like, you know, kind of like clearly excelling at, you know, I'm like, you know, aware of this enough. And I think in that just sort of like then wanting to improve and like wanting more of that good feedback, and it feels good to do. And it's, you know, just a lot of that. And I mean, I think, yeah, like, it was pretty clear when I was young. I was like, yeah, this kid's gonna probably do something with art when they're an adult. But so then it was kind of interesting. Then kind of my late teens, early 20s, sort of then almost, I don't know if it was a way of rebellion, but I think just like wanting to see what else is out there. When I think the art thing was so, I don't know, kind of taken for granted. It was just kind of so obvious that I was like, yeah, but you know, there's so many other things out there. I want to explore more. And so, like medicine and just like anatomy and physiology, like really also captured my imagination. Like, you know, I think this would have been, yeah, like in high school, took an anatomy and physiology course and just like had never been as excited about something like aside from art, you know? And so, you know, with that then kind of like put the pens and paints down for like quite a while. I mean, I would still get like commissions here and there, but it wasn't as big part of my goals, you know, for like a lot of my early 20s. So, you know, it's just like wasn't, you know, filling out sketchbooks like I used to for, you know, so many years, if not even just before art school. Like then art school especially, like it's all I did. And it was just like, okay, now we're doing like next to none of it, you know. Eventually things would happen in conversation when someone realized like, oh wow, you can do that. It's like, yeah, you know. And so then, you know, oftentimes a commission may come out of that. But even so, yeah, I just like, you know, really wanted to see how I could like use my like my hand-eye coordination and my vision to the goal at one point was like, ooh, cosmetic surgery, right? And so like we have the art, but now we have the medicine too, and like kind of a nice merger. And you know, so then like with that, so I was at Nebraska, University of Nebraska is where I like went to art school, Nebraska where I grew up. But then I did take school then as a springboard in Oregon, where I took a lot of those med school prereqs, and so that kind of what got me close to Seattle, kind of starting to fill in the gaps there. And yeah, I think then where, you know, pretty much up until the you know, the BLM year, like you were saying, I was an EMT for a while, and I was in CNA work and kind of like in and out of the medical field, or the or like doing like service jobs or kind of whatever. But then yeah, after the BLM mural, things just like really took off for, I think, really all of us who participated in that project. Really like elevated so many of our careers in ways we never would have imagined. But since then though, I've pretty much been able to do art full time, which is crazy. Like you know, so again, whether it be commissions or grants, or I've been teaching at Pratt the last couple of years. It's been amazing. It's been incredible. Yeah.
I just love hearing this because, you know, when I first saw some of your designs, some of your art, I promise you, I was like, this is out of the box, right? Like your eye for detail in a way that was so unique and eclectic. I mean, your work speaks volumes, but it also feels like it's a reflection of just like the creativity happening in your brain, you know? But when I saw it, I'm like, this doesn't look like anything else I've ever seen. And so that's what I really gravitated towards when it comes to your artistry. Tell us about honing in on that vision, because, you know, every artist has their thing. They have to have this look or aesthetic. Tell us about some of the things that really fuel your artistry.
Yeah. And, you know, as you bring that up, I think I find so much inspiration from like so many different things. And I think when you look at my work, I think, you know, if you see like kind of enough of it like put together, there's like quite a breadth, I'd say, of like different sort of like styles or sort of modes that I may like kind of slip into. But I think, you know, you can kind of generally tell it's like the same hand generally. But yeah, you know, I think every project always has these new opportunities to like try something new, or just like different concerns. I think especially, you know, doing this as a living where you have so many clients who have, you know, their own perspectives and, you know, agendas and things that they want to see out of this work, right? And so then having to, you know, then create something in a way that like I still find satisfying, and like, you know, even while maybe like someone wants something that I like may not, you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe not my first choice, but it's like, hey, that's fine. This is for you, so let's make the best version of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think, you know, so like with that said, you know, whether it be, you know, not only just like the project itself, but even of course like the medium, where, you know, at this point, you know, granted, I like mostly do two-dimensional work, you know, whether, you know, painting, drawing, illustrating, things like that, but also murals. And so sometimes that's spray paint, or, you know, it's like brushes, or, you know, been recently getting into tattooing. And so I think that's also been a really great way to like bring back that interest in anatomy and the body and everything. And so that's been a really cool way to like still take some of those like medical skills and just the, you know, the sanitization and all those like better practice things. And so, yeah, you know, so with that, obviously, then comes different, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like constraints or whatever for any given project. So yeah, you know, I think it's rarely difficult for me to say like, you know, say come up with an idea, right? Which, you know, I think is a, you know, a great additive to then being able to like execute the thing, right? But you know, oftentimes it's, you know, I think because I, you know, do have so many different interests that it's, you know, easy to find, you know, these inspirations or this thing that I do like enjoy about this thing and really be able to like help make that shine, I guess.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that, because I think again, like there's when it comes to artistry, there are gives and takes, right? Like as you say, you know, if you're commissioned to do a piece and maybe it's not your first choice, but you find a way to still see the you in it,
Yeah.
because obviously, I mean, you're commissioned because they like your work, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, part of that is that, you know, folks have to also have the understanding of, you know, I am not the artist. I'm commissioning an artist to do something for me, and sometimes that means I need to be able to be, you know, movable too. I need to be flexible with my own idea. But you've done a lot. You've done the BLM mural. You did other murals. I mean, you've done so many things. Tell us about like all of the things that you've been pouring your artistry into.
Oh, so I mean, just like other projects then,
Yeah.
or yeah. So I mean, like I mentioned, been, I don't know. I think right now with, you know, summer coming, I'll be doing summer classes at Pratt, like I was mentioning. So I'm like really excited about the curriculum this year. We're gonna be doing like art as activism, and so especially having like been part of that big activism piece, you know, like I think, you know, well poised to be able to teach a class on it, right? But I'm really excited for that. So, you know, I'll be spending the next month or so kind of like building out that curriculum. So that's sort of on my mind. I just had a meeting this last Friday, a couple days ago. Some folks up in Edmonds where they're trying to make Pride like a bigger like thing. I think last year might have been their first like kind of official Pride celebration, you know, event. And so they're like, you know, really like, hey, we need let's get some momentum going. And so they're working with me to do this other sort of like kind of like large mural installation where I think for this one, the big sort of challenge, the fun challenge of it is trying to kind of create this mosaic, if you will, out of, you know, like we're looking for, you know, roughly like 60 to 70 like pieces. And so like needing to then come up with, you know, something that's visually appealing, like with the line work and everything, while like, you know, fitting these other like fun kind of constraints. What someone else hit me up this last week also, Ruckus Cannabis up in Capitol Hill. I'm gonna be doing a piece for them, and see this one I'm really excited about too, because it with that conversation, you know, kind of one of those more rare opportunities where they're just kind of letting me do whatever, right? And so I'm just like, yes. And so yeah, I've been recently really interested in these like floral pieces, and I, you know, I really enjoy like, you know, surrealism and giving like more engagement in my pieces where like the audience, you know, spend some time looking at it, and you know, you may not have noticed something that you noticed the first time, and fun kind of visual sort of like play like that. And so with a lot of these floral pieces, there are these like drawn figures like made out of flowers and stuff. And so like, you know, it looks like a flower here, a flower there and there, but then if you like, you know, but it's also the silhouette of like figures embracing at the same time. And so looking to do something kind of like along those lines with Ruckus. So it'll be exciting to really like, I don't know, expand on that idea. But that's been a big part of my inspiration right now.
Well, you know, I gotta say that, you know, first off, when you talk about art as activism, 100%. I mean, I look back at artistry over the years and how, I mean, I was just saying it, I think this week, that there's always some piece that is showcasing this is the sign of the times. I mean, photography does that because it's like, this is literally this event in 1950, right? But the ways that artists can explore those same similar concepts in what you create it showcases like, whoa, and you also see a lot of futurism because you're like, oh my gosh, we're in this year, but this looks like something out of the Jetsons or something, right? So the ideas that art can really drive, trends, drive culture, move it forward is so real to me. And so I just appreciate, all the work you're doing around the city and beyond. I'm so glad to hear that you have been able to just really be a full-time artist, because I think it's so important for artists like yourself to really be able to explore that creativity in a wide variety of ways and get paid what you're supposed to be getting paid for it, right? Of course, I got to give you time, because if folks are wanting to tap in, stay connected with you, commission a piece, commission you for work, look right there, let them know how they tap in, BT.
Hi there. So yeah, BT, pronounced they, she, should have said that earlier, whatever, we got there. Otherwise, Artbreaker BT, that's like heart without the he, Artbreaker BT. And that's pretty much anywhere you can find me. That's the IG, that's the website. And then from there, you can find the email, whatever, get in contact for commissions or what have you. Also worth mentioning, Blue Cone Studios, another big part of my art practice. I host a figure drawing every last Thursday up there, and pretty much every day of the week we have a free community art sort of like exploration. I wouldn't call them classes. It's not like a formal like being taught thing, but it's just a judgment-free space to create and grow and commune. So yeah, Blue Cone Studios, Artbreaker BT. Yeah, Vivid Matter Collective.
There it is, all the things. You are doing phenomenal, my friend. It's so great to have you here. Thank you so much for
Such
joining
an honor.
me.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, y'all. What a great way to end our week. I'm going to wrap all this up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Welcome back. It is the Hot Stove Show. Aaron Goldsmith.
Don't scratch the paint again.
Yeah, gotta get a better ride to work.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Shotgun.
Not a chance.
Ballet's greatest comedy, Coppelia, returns to Pacific Northwest Ballet. Perfect for all ages, Coppelia delights with dazzling dancing and magnificent music played by the PNB Orchestra. Seven performances only. Visit pnb.org for tickets.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday, and I just want to thank you again for joining me this week. Huge shout out to my guest today, BT, doing phenomenal things in the world of artistry. And again, I'm going to tell you to be inspired. I mean, how can you not? You're talking about someone who's like, look, after I was able to be a part of this amazing collaborative, still a part of it with Vivid Matter Collective, the fact that folks understood all of the artists who poured into that phenomenal mural that we still get to see on Capitol Hill are really, truly gifted, and that now they can be commissioned for more and more artworks is so special to me. It is a huge inspiring story, and I'm so grateful that BT was able to pour their brilliance into the entire scene here that we have when it comes to artistry, because we're blowing up, but it's also because we are pouring in to the phenomenal brilliance that's right here in our backyard. A lot of times people are like, oh, you see this big name, this big, oh, this and this in the magazine, somebody from outside of this area. But the fact that we have phenomenal folks who are pouring their brilliance into their artworks here, and we get to experience them and we get to celebrate them, let's not lose nothing on that, because we should all be pouring in a way that allows all of these artists to continue to do their artworks full time and get paid what they're supposed to be paid. This idea of starving artists, I'm throwing it out. I'm burning it up, okay? Because it is not realistic, but it is necessary for us to be able to understand the importance of creativity in our community. Thanks so much, y'all, for watching this week. And y'all know me until Monday at 11 a.m., y'all. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.